Good evening, everybody, and welcome to F1 TS Hub Season 11 Pinnacle tier. And joining me tonight in the commentary box for the first time, I believe, is Jamie. Evening,
Yes.
Jamie.
Hello everybody, I'm very excited to be here, my debut in the commentary box, and this should be a very exciting start of the season, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely, as some of the drivers are already heading out on track. First qualifying session of a new campaign, of course, so a lot of anticipation in the paddock before this race. Media day yesterday was extremely busy, lots of activity going on. And yeah, just excited now to see what the drivers deliver us on circuit.
Yeah, it should be very good. Obviously Austria is a very short track, so what I'm expecting is really close lap times. I believe in practice, in qualifying night, I believe the time set was like 1.2 seconds. So it
Wow.
wouldn't be a surprise if the grid was separated by a whole second and Matty Daddy has already crashed, so that's not a good start for the Williams driver.
That's a really bad start to his campaign, that's for sure. And as you mentioned, the pressure's always on big time here in qualifying because it's such a short track with only, I think, 10 laps or whatever it is, and less than 3 miles a lap. Really short for an F1 circuit, and it's very, very difficult to make the difference and to nail a lap. And as you mentioned, a few tenths can knock you down several positions on the grid.
Yeah, it reminds me sort of like an F1 version of a go-kart track. There's not many corners, and I'm expecting pole to be separated by the hundredths, if not the thousandths. And we're on board with one of the favourites in my view for this season, Ali Diaz. Last year he was learning the wheel, and he's got a new idea, and in my view he's the big favourite this season.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of hype around in pre-season, so let's see what he can deliver.
He won 2 races in the Pinnacle tier last season, which was the top tier last season, so a lot of people are surprised he moved down, but you never know. He might have, I think people like the Bookster and Kev and Sam and Matt might give him a challenge.
Yeah, definitely. There's certainly a few drivers to watch and some new drivers as well who we'll obviously cover as we go on tonight. But yeah, the Bookster definitely one to watch as well. He was quick last season, and Matty Daddy as well. Had some great pace from time to time. So there's definitely, you know, a lot of drivers I think will be battling for the top of this championship.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised there's multiple winners in the first 3 races. I don't think there'll be a clear front runner in this tier. I think it might come down to consistency rather than race wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I think consistency is important over the season. It's all good and well being able to put in the quick laps, but yeah, you've got to be able to deliver it race after race and reach the finish line in a good position. That's what it's all about. So yeah, we'll see who can deliver that this season. Obviously, new drivers in new teams as well, so it's going to take a while for us to get up to speed and get used to everyone. But a few lap times coming in now, and we've got Matt FNG at the moment with a 106.151.
Yeah. And again, Ali Diaz is only 200ths behind, so and Kev is on a 106.8, got Nick who's on a 106.9, D90 is on a 106.9, Ollie on a 107.0 on Supers, and Sam who's on a 109.2. I guess that was a warming up lap.
Yeah, I think he's just getting up to speed there, and of course being a short lap, the drivers have got the opportunity here to do a couple of laps at a time, rather than having to give one hot lap and box and go again. They have got an opportunity, if the lap isn't going well, to back out and go again. So it takes the pressure off perhaps slightly in that regard.
Yeah, and I always felt better. I always feel better when I was racing. I always felt better when I was in a rhythm. I didn't like doing the single lap because I didn't think I got the most out of my package. So I think this sort of track will suit some of the drivers who are more consistent. As Booksters goes further at 106.5.
Yeah, decent lap from him, and yeah, these drivers at the moment, obviously still 7.5 minutes to go, but just getting that lap on the board takes a bit of the pressure off you. You know you've got your banker lap there, and it just allows you to unleash a bit more on the remainder of the session. For me, it's all about the second half of the lap, really, the middle sector, and particularly the last couple of corners as well, is where all that time can be won and lost. So it'll be important to keep an eye on goings on those final few corners and see who can finish off their lap as well as they can.
Yeah, the final 2 corners, they're quite tricky to get your line right, because if you go a little bit offline, you're on that yellow curb and your lap is just completely ruined, and you just... So in qualifying, what I always used to do, I don't know about you, John, but I used to always, at the start of the session, I used to always get a banker in, so make sure I got a valid lap, and then my second run I just I went flat out basically, and if it went wrong, well, at least I had some sort of lap in, and if it went great,
Yeah.
I got great grid position.
Definitely, I think that's definitely the way to go. Is just get that lap on the board, take the pressure off yourself, and then like you say, if the worst happens, you've still got a competitive lap time to start the race with. What you don't want to be in is a situation where with a couple of minutes to go, you haven't set a lap time and the pressure is absolutely on, and that's when it can all go wrong, as we've seen in the past, obviously. So yeah, I think get that lap on the board is absolutely crucial.
United goes third with 106.3. That's another good lap time as well. Stifler's gone fourth with 106.4.
Yeah, there's some lap times coming in now, and Matt, your daddy, obviously will be. He's in that situation we were just talking about now, with less than 6 minutes to go. He hasn't got a lap time on the board yet after that incident you said at the beginning of the session. So the pressure will be on him, and we mentioned before he is one to watch. So yeah, can he deliver?
Yeah, he got a few points last season. I always found in Austria, it looks easy to overtake around here, but I always find it very difficult because a lot of the corners are tightened up on entry. So I think you want to be on the front few rows around here to have a good race.
Yeah, I agree. I know firsthand that it's easy to get tangled up in incidents here, so grid position is crucial. And yeah, the tricky corners in the middle of the lap, as you mentioned, it's all about the front end of the car. And yeah, you just want to get yourself high up the grid so you can just run your race and run your pace.
So we have a bit of a lull in this session, so Jono, if you wouldn't mind reading out the standings for us, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've currently got Matt FNG holding the top spot at the moment there on that 106.1, which is early on in the session, very closely behind by Ali Diaz. D90 in third, Stifler in fourth, the Drugster in fifth on a 106.5, so he's only 4/10 off pole there in fifth currently. Botti Dweller in sixth, Cloudy Blue in seventh, Kev 8th. Gaza 9th, and Nick rounds out the top 10 at the moment with a 106.8. So as you mentioned, it's close. 7/10 currently separates the top 10.
Speaking of Nick, I believe Nick's joined us now. Yeah, not bad, yeah.
Evening, Nick.
Oh,
wow, that was exciting stuff.
I thought it was raining, but I switched over for the last few laps, so it sounds like a really fun one. As Wummer has gone pole with 105.9, and Ali Diaz is joining on the front row with 106.0.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, very, very close at the front there, and yeah, Wummer the first to be in the 105s, so he is the benchmark at the moment, and yeah, holding on to that provisional pole position with 3.5 minutes to go.
I did a practice run last night and my best lap was a 107.0, so I think I made the right decision in retiring.
Yeah, definitely some good laps being put down there, yeah. And yeah, he's currently got that McLaren Honda, I believe, on in the provisional pole position spot. Yeah. So Nick, do you want to give your thoughts quickly on this Pinnacle tier?
Yeah, you missed it before, Nick, but Matty Daddy, you crashed on his outlap at turn 2. That's why you'd be next in the session. No, it isn't. No, we were just talking about getting off to a good start, and as I said it, I think I cursed him, and he crashed out of the session. So yeah, a bit of a commentator curse going on already there within a couple of minutes. So I'll try my best not to do any more. Ollie's moved fifth with 106.4, and so Sam on a 106.4. But look at that 3,000s between Ollie and Sam. Just incredible how close this grid is.
Sorry guys, my voice hadn't been allowed to share, so my apologies. for the silences. I was talking, I promise, and I was just saying how close this field looks.
Oh.
And it's... Yep, someone's had an incident.
Lemain's crashing the pit exit. Well, I used to crash on the pit entry, so the pit exit's a new one for me.
Oh, that's a shame for him. Yeah, I can see the Haas car parked up there as well. So as Ali Diaz retires from the session.
He's 12th from the grid, so obviously it'd be you have a choice of tyres. If it's a dry race, of course, at the start, we have no idea what the weather is, which is very exciting. I don't want to know what the weather is either.
Yeah, definitely. And a minute to go now. Almost all the drivers on circuit, apart from Gaza by the look of it. So plenty of action to come in the next 50 seconds or so.
Maybe Sam, does he improve? No, he doesn't.
And no, he's in slipstream there, that Red Bull as well. I guess slipstream is handy here if you can run within a reasonable distance of a car in front.
Yeah, I think Wummer's been I've noticed Wummer. I think he's attempting 3 runs in qualifying. He's going to do it, so it'll be interesting to see if he improves on this 105.9.
Matt just came into the pit, guys, so he won't be able to set another lap time for this session. He'll be starting in, at best, 3rd position. Ollie is in 5th. He's also in the pits, and so is Gaza. So none of those three will be able to set a quicker time. Wummer's retired.
We'll go on board with Sam. Sam's 2,000 up, so it might get the good into it, but he's got Bookster ahead, so he might have turbulent air, but he also gets slipstream advantage, so it's interesting to see how this lap ends.
Yeah, I think slipstream is worth a bit of time here, but it also does cost you through these final corners with the lack of downforce. So
yeah,
we'll see where it puts him as he crosses the line.
Pretty bad into like run out of fuel.
Oh well, there we are. That's
Stifler's
his session done.
So that might move him up to 4th if there's a good end to the lap.
Paddy Balloons has done a personal best in sector 2, only 2,000s up.
Yeah.
So 2 corners to go. Tricky 2 last corners. He comes into the pits. So he's called it a day.
Well, Tejwar's on sole lap, so it's only Nick left to finish, I think.
Nick's the only driver to improve.
A lot of drivers were pushing the limits there on their final runs, and a lot of drivers actually failed to improve on their times, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few invalidations at the end there, and he doesn't improve, so that's our grid, I think. So, so Nick, do you mind doing run down the grid for us, please?
Yeah, sure. So Wummer takes his first pole position at F1 TS Hub. Congratulations to him. This is the Pinnacle tier. We're going to run through this because there's 20 seconds left. VSR Ala Diaz takes 2nd. Matt takes 3rd. D90 takes 4th. Good result from him. Ollie in 5th on his debut. Sam 6th. Paddy Bloom 7th. Stifler 8th. Bookster 9th. Ols 10th. Kev 11th. Dweller 12th. Lemaine 13th. 14th Gaza. 15th Nick. 16th Tejwar. Matt crashed out early on. He'll start 17th place. And yeah, of course, remember, 11th out and downwards get to choose their tyre, guys. So that can be an advantage. We did see a right mixture of who started on what earlier in the podium tier. So yeah, it looks a little bit cloudy for this one as well.
Yeah, I believe his track's a marginal 1 stop. Yeah. Oh yeah, it does look cloudy.
Yeah. I think outside the top 11 we will see drivers probably, or at least some of them, starting on the super soft tyre and then switching to the soft. I think it's a bit more of a consistent tyre throughout the race. I think the ultra soft, it will do a 1 stop, I think, but I think you've got to push it a little bit, and you definitely will lose pace towards the end of the stint. And the cooler conditions here as well, and the heavy fuel loads, of course, going into turn 1. You know, drivers have got to be careful. It's easy to get caught out, brake a little bit late in the different conditions and with the weight in the car. So yeah, as trying to set on their formation lap, they've got a lot to think about.
What's interesting from moving from 2 tiers to 3 tiers, guys, that I found earlier on was drivers like D90, you know, he was at the back of the pack and had a troubled, you know, first season at F1 TSL, but look at him, he's in 4th position now, 2nd row of the grid, and when around a track like Austria, you know, you can hold on to the guy in front quite easily if you can stay in their slipstream. So, you know, he's got every chance to score his first podium here tonight, and it just shows you what more drivers, you know, closes up the field throughout all 3 tiers, and it's going to be fantastic to see. Look at Kevin 11th, he's certainly in a good position as well. But Ols, a man that's improved in the off-season, Cloudy Balloons as well, look at him in 7th position, and this is going to be an exciting one. Don't know if anyone wants to run through what tyres everyone's starting on.
I will, Nick. So the top 10, of course, are starting on used Ultra Softs, a set lap from qualifying. Kevin 11th is on a new set of Ultras. Duella, Lamine and Gaza, they're on Supers. And Nick is on Ultras. Ted Schwarz on Supers, and Matty Daddy's on Soft. As I noticed, it's starting raining on the formation lap, so I'm going to enjoy this one, I think.
Absolutely, that's just what we wanted from a spectator's point of view. Mixed up conditions, which of course we often get here at Austria. And I was slightly surprised to see Kevin 11th there fit the Ultras with obviously first tyre choice. But perhaps if the weather is going to change to rain, you want to be on the quickest tyre early on, maybe expecting stop sprinters.
Yeah, I definitely think rain is going to come down. If it started raining already, you can see it bouncing off the tyres, and this is going to make turn 1 even tricky. You know, running down heavy, first time heavy fuel, breaking into that corner with these sorts of conditions. I got a feeling that runoff area is going to be used very well. Over to you, Jono.
Yeah, absolutely. As the line up on the grid now, and we've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go. And all the drivers move off the line okay, at least by the look of it. And will the Williams go down the inside into turn 1? He does look for it, but it's not happening. And Womack takes the lead out of turn 1. There's a fair few side-by-side action behind by the look of it, but currently people keeping it clean. But this is crucial now into the braking zone here. Picking the braking zone, especially drivers on the inside. It's easy to collect drivers on the outside and get caught. Looks like drivers are doing a pretty good job at the moment. And still lots of side-by-side action there. The Mercedes boys battling it in the midfield. Yeah, over to you, Jamie.
Brooks has got front wing damage. A good start from Ollie there. I was up to 3rd as Matt and D90 are side by side coming out of turn 3, and does D90 gets the move done. So he holds on to his 4th place, but Matt was big loser there. He's down 2 places, and big winner also was Matt and Daddy, who's up to 15th. As Matt has lost another place to Cloudy Balloons. I think he's struggling in these conditions.
It was quite clean there. I was quite impressed that they all made it through turn 1 without any spinners. There was a Sauber that did go a little bit deep into turn 1, but he just kind of got boxed in, and I think it helped him slow down. As the Mercedes goes wide, is that going to create a bottleneck effect as he gets a poor exit, and his teammate looks like he's going to have a little bit of the inside line.
Nick and Gazza have collided at the back, and Gazza's got front damage, and Nick's got
2 Mercedes still side by side as well. And we've now got Mercedes and Red Bull battling, and everyone's so close, jostling for position here. Into this crucial braking zone once again,
Sam's lost his wing.
Sam is in the wall, and you have to say that was coming from 3 cars into 1 there. Just do not go, people battling for position in these tricky conditions as well.
Especially in these conditions, it's an absolute nightmare for Sam. He was hoping for better this season, but he hasn't started that well.
Wilmer still leads, guys, only by 0.3 of a second though, and behind him, Ali Diaz is really closing him in. He's hanging on right to the back end. Look at all these drivers in DRS. How do you even commentate on this? The 2 Red Bulls now are next to each other, and guys, we spoke about it last season. Kev's kept his nose clean. He's up into 7th position as Wilmer comes into the pits. So the 2 Red Bulls, are they going to stack? One of them hit the other and now has to carry on.
Wow.
Poor communication there, I imagine.
I think Bugster was struggling with front wing damage. It's reminiscent of Baku, isn't it? The 2 Red Bulls colliding. Yeah, they're all coming sprinters now. This is the switch over
that extra lap that some drivers have decided to do as well. I think Ali really costly here.
Ali Diaz is going to lose out big time here as both Mercedes have a front wing change.
You mentioned Ali Diaz, he's off the track as well. No damage done, but just so little grip on those ultra soft tyres will certainly be in this lap. And what a nightmare start for these drivers in these conditions.
He's got front wing damage as well.
Yeah, we spoke about he'd had a clean start. Sorry about that commentator's curse. Matt tried to go down the inside of Duella, by the way, but Duella just kept himself on the outside, let Matt your daddy go deep, and then just thought, thank you very much, see you later, I'll carry on as normal.
Yeah, I'd say Matt your daddy's a great start from the back of the grid to fight in the points. He's got the move done on Duella.
Position there. He is, he's doing well. He's on the harder of the dry compounds as well, so it's going to be extra tricky for him. I expect these boys in this lap. Let's see if Matty Daddy decides to box and get off those tyres. It looks like he does.
I expect
And the
everyone
Ferrari looks like it's going to continue.
I expect everyone on dry tyre. Oh, Drella stays out, and that's a
Duello
mistake.
stayed out.
Up soon, we don't know the forecast, obviously.
There wasn't a Ferrari that pitted in front of him, but I think some of the drivers that stayed out, Jono, perhaps didn't want to double stack, like the Red Bulls, for instance. So that's going to cost him a lot. I would have probably just double stacked. These conditions, you can risk having a big mistake, costly mistake.
You lose 10 seconds lap at least, or even worse, you're ready over.
Yeah, definitely. I think you lose. You know, you lose more trying to continue, and you risk your car, like you mentioned. It's probably worth double stacking. It was especially awful for the Red Bulls because they were literally, virtually side by side as they approached the pit lane. But it looks so tricky there for those that did stay out. It's I see Bossi Dwellers just sliding around there on the straight on those super softs.
This is going to be a pretty easy overtake.
Oh,
he's on the grass.
He wasn't giving room there.
He's got front wing damage. He's got wing, so yeah, I'll hit again. So Ali Diaz.
I don't know if he just didn't see him or something, but it wasn't exactly a, Dweller perhaps just didn't see him or something. It goes through now. So is Ali Diaz, and the first two, they now come first and second once again, and lots of position changes up and down the field. Womack continues with that wing damage though.
Yeah, I believe Ali Diaz will get this in the wet, or wing damage costs you even more time, so I'm pretty sure Ali Diaz will get through ASAP.
Obviously we don't know the forecast, but Bossi Dweller continuing again on those tyres, but he's just losing so much time. Unless he knows that it's going to dry up like super soon, then this is surely the wrong way to go.
He's off again, he's just... It doesn't look like it's going to dry. It doesn't look like it's going to dry soon. It's pretty heavy rain now.
Womack regains the lead anyway, and Ali Diaz just right on his gearbox actually as they exit down the back straight here. So these two have held position through those pit stops, and they both look really quick. Obviously a long way to go, but they look to be the pace setters at the moment.
This could be our title battle here between these two.
Yeah, you never know. It's early days. I think Ali Diaz certainly looking really quick at the moment. He looks like he's perhaps the quicker of the two drivers, but overtaking, as Nick mentioned, is difficult in the dry here, so especially tricky in the wet. It's crucial to get good traction onto the straights to be able to make a move, and in these conditions it's easier said than done, that's for sure.
Well, a bit of carnage at the back here. Revolves is off, and he's got wing damage as well, so disappointing start to the season for the podium sitter last season.
Yeah, and not going so well for Tejois there as well, in 17th position at the moment, and a fair way back. So yeah, Matty Daddy's still the big winner at the moment. He's up 10 positions and finds himself in 7th on lap 6 of the race.
Dweller finally pits, so it was wasted. That was a bad strategy call in my opinion.
Yeah, that is a strange one as he enters the pits now. Goes onto the set of Inters. So
Ali Diaz
new front wing as well.
Lead. You should get this move done pretty easily to turn 3.
And he does indeed. The Williams driver takes the inside there. Will the McLaren try and hold it around the outside? He does so, which will then give him the inside for the following corner. I think keep his nose alongside. A little bit of lag going on there on my screen, but he does slot in behind.
Should be through now, and he's gone wide, so Ollie might...
Diaz. Yeah.
Ollie and D90 have got this battle.
Yeah, definitely. Ollie and D90 have benefited from these conditions. I think they were already about 3 seconds ahead, the lead 2, when they pitted for the Inters. But Ollie looking good in these conditions.
Great to see as well in his first race that he's got confidence, to push, some of the guys that perhaps are more experienced at F1 TS Hub. So fantastic to see him. Look, he's going to have a run at the McLaren here. We saw a lot of drivers earlier try and attempt to pass into turn 1, and myself and Odoms couldn't understand. Usually turn 1's a place that you line them up for the next turn, but doesn't give it a go there. And look at all those battles throughout the field. There's hardly anyone more than 2 seconds away from the car in front.
Yeah, Cloudy Balloon's all over Bugster, and Gazza's all over Sam, and Remain's all over Stifler, and everywhere you look there's battles.
Yeah, there is. It's difficult to know who to watch on screen at the moment. Like I say, everybody's got at least one car that they're battling with on circuit. And the driver's coping reasonably well, it seems, at the moment in these conditions as well.
Every driver has made one stop, by the way, guys.
Okay. Yeah, it's Ollie as well. Really is forcing the issue there in third. As you mentioned, Nick, it's been a good start to the season for him so far, and he looks really confident in these conditions. He looks confident to push the car perhaps harder than the drivers in front at the moment.
Yeah, he does. He's driving really. I'm on board with him now. He's driving really smoothly. His throttle application is really smooth and consistent, and I think Wummer is struggling with this front wing damage. He seems to be struggling with turning. I've noticed these first few corners.
He does. Mid corner, you can see the front end of his car just washing out. I think he's got front left wing damage.
Yeah. It looks pretty severe from his onboard. Amazed he's keeping so close to Ali Diaz, to be honest with you.
I know, he's doing well, but he's got to take it a long way, and as tyre wear starts to bite as well, it will hurt him even more when he'll just struggle for front end grip. And definitely disadvantage as he then runs deep there. Yeah, he does. Ollie has a look, but thinks better of it, sticks in behind. You've got to pick your moment, as Nick says. If you go for it and mess up the move, you can fall back. So he's got to just sit in there. He's well placed in third, and just wait for the moment.
Yeah, this is one of now his tracks on the calendar, so overtaking, I find overtaking difficult here. It's not like wide Malaysia or China or something, so you've got to really just find the right. You might have to wait a couple laps, but wait for the right moment, I think.
Yeah, definitely, and this is where it's hurting Wummer in these last couple of corners with the wing damage and a bit more lag again now on my screen. So I don't think he's going to be close enough to have a look into turn one. No, and he doesn't. He just follows the McLaren through.
I think he's got bad straight line speed. Even on the slipstream, he seems to be struggling.
Yeah, he does. McLaren is getting good exits by the look of it. He's able to get on the power and do enough into the braking zones. He's then slow mid-corner once again. He has indeed, and this will be the Toro Rosso driver's chance. He's on the inside, and job done. He's picked his braking point now, but he's well clear. So he won't even need to defend by the look of it. He takes a normal racing line. And yeah, that moves him up into second. So it'll be interesting now to see how he does versus Ali Diaz. 2.5 seconds at the moment. So let's keep an eye on that gap and see what happens.
Yeah, I find turn 2 I find quite hard in the dry, so in the wet you can struggle with traction even more there, because in the dry sometimes you lose your rear end there, so I can't imagine what it's like in these conditions. As all these struggle...
Ollie's had a tank slapper.
Yeah.
You caught that as well, Jamie. Oh, one was right on him. Wrong place to catch someone though if you want to pass.
Great move, pulls this off, but no, he's going to get run out of the room.
Look at the two cars behind as well. This is a fantastic battle now.
Yeah. It's a four-way battle for second.
Yeah, the battling there is allowing the others to close up, and I think, as you mentioned, Wummer just holding people up a bit here with that bit of damage. And oh yeah, Ollie then into second, Wummer third. Now D90 will be next up then.
I don't think this is going to work out though. He'll be left on the outside.
Yeah, Wummer defending the inside there, and I don't think D90 had much chance.
We saw that again, guys, where Wummer went for a move down the inside half-heartedly, and he just compromised his exit all the way down that straight afterwards. So it's almost better to tuck in behind the car in front, and then you can get on the power nice and early and line them up for the next one. But Wummer struggling with that wing damage, that's for sure.
Yeah, all this has done is helped Ali Diaz, because he's got a 4.3 second lead now.
Yeah, he's suddenly pulled a gap there, hasn't he? And yeah, broken away from this pack of drivers behind. He's driving really, really well at the moment. As you mentioned, Nick, I don't think turn one is an overtaking point particularly at the moment. I think it's important just to get the good exit there, and you know the driver in front is going to be on the limit, trying to keep you behind. You know he's more likely to get a bad exit from that turn one. It's best to be patient there and then line him up into turn 2 or turn 3.
Brooks has got a run on B90 here, but again, I think with DRS overtake is impossible in turn 1. There's not enough. It tightens up on entry, and it's an uphill corner. I wouldn't dare risk a move in turn 1, to be honest with you.
The Bookster though forcing his way down the inside here. He's got the inside line. fibre on its outside, but he's going to get his braking right as he hit the
now.
apex. He does, yeah.
Yeah, he's got him.
And he gets a good exit as well.
Party. And Matty Daddy.
Wow, the field is really bunching up here.
Up now, yeah.
And the Bookster possibly one to watch now as well. He's on a bit of a charge here, up 5 positions from his starting place on the grid, and he's looking comfortable now. And we know he's not afraid of a move and an overtake, and yeah, he could well end up on the podium at least come the end of this race.
Yeah, I think Bookster would have been disappointed with this qualifying result. I think he was aiming for like a top 4 starting grids, but he's shown his worth in the races. Ollie's gone off and he's lost. He'll lose multiple places here, surely. He's lost 2 places. Down to 4.
Yeah, we mentioned how smooth he was driving, but a couple of errors there, and they've cost him. And the Booster up into 3rd there, didn't have to work for that one. And he'll now chase down that McLaren, that wounded McLaren, and as Ali Diaz as well, up to 6-second gap now as well, so he's just constantly building that lead.
Yeah. It looks like the track's banked to me. It looks like the rain's starting to disappear, so we might be back to a dry track in next. But
yeah, there's definitely less spray, as you say, I think, than there was earlier on. And Bookster already pretty much onto the back of Wommer here, so he's making headway. Ollie touched in as well, and he's still in this. A couple of little errors, but no real damage done. And D90 there as well, just lingering there in the background, waiting to pounce if anything goes wrong for the drivers ahead. And all separated by just a few tenths of a second. And yeah, it's anyone's at the moment, this second position.
Sam's over the back of Stifler, trying to recover from his first lap. So he can sneak a few points and have a damp recovery drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Bookster is all over Wommer here, so.
Oh, he is. You can just see how much more grip he had out of that final corner as well.
Would he try
and
and dive
be able to line up into turn 1. I think he's going to go for this. He does. Oh, the McLaren driver does turn in though, and yeah, he couldn't make it work again into turn 1. And as we mentioned, that's probably compromised him now into the next braking zone as well.
Lost time. As Matt's gone up to soft tyres, so maybe it's time for slicks.
Okay, well, so first to blink.
Tejwar as well is actually just coming out of the pit box now on the soft tyres, so super soft tyres are on his car. Soft is showing on the indicator, so what he's on I'm not too sure, but himself and Matt have gone early, possibly too early, but yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on the gaps and see whether they decreased. Look how much Dweller's lost from staying out on his supers, by the way. Yeah, 16th place.
Yeah, and Kev as well. Kev looks not big time there as well. They were I mean, any chance of points for these two are virtually impossible now. With Cloudy Balloons has passed D90 there, I missed that.
Oh yeah, he's gained a position up into 5th there.
D90 struggling, I think. Like your daddy takes him. He's DRS enabled, so maybe they did get the call correct.
Yeah, a couple of drivers are entering the pits now.
Ali
Wommer
Diaz
and the Bookster are both pitting.
Yeah, everyone's going to be in now. Ollie's staying out.
Wommer, of course, might have to do a wing change here, so he could well drop a couple of positions during the stops here.
Yeah, go on, boy.
I think he'll be glad it stopped raining, though. You know, get that wing changed and not have to do an extra stop. So perhaps that's what he was holding on for. He's gone for the soft. It's going to be really interesting. If you fit the soft tyres now, you should be able to go to the end. So we should know who's 1 stopping and 2 stopping in effect, just by what tyres they go onto. D90's chosen the ultras, so he'll be lightning quick for these next few laps, whilst everyone else gets their tyres up to temperature. This could again. Oh, as he hits the wall, D90 hits the inside wall coming out the pits, and he's got left wing damage. So just shows you, Jono, you put in your stewards report how tricky that pit exit is. And we've just seen now what can happen.
He was having such a good race as well, that's disappointing. He could have got a podium, I believe.
It's so easy to do. It's all good and well saying just take it steady, just, you know, let a few tenths go and keep your front wing. But in the heat of the moment, especially going on the ultras when he's obviously got pushing flat out in his mind, it's so easy just to tap that wall and get wing damage.
Very difficult pit exit here. It's very tightens on the exit, and that wall is very inviting.
It does. It'll be interesting to see if D90 decides to try and carry that wing damage, you know, while he runs the ultras, because we know he'd have to stop again anyway, or whether he'll just think the grip loss is too much and he'll have to pit again.
Ollie's in, but I think he's lost loads of time this lap. The gap's come down a lot, so I think he'll drop a few places.
Yeah, we'll see where he comes out. There does always seem to be really one optimum lap on this game to make a pit stop for tyres.
He's in the next second place there, third place there. He just lost it big time. That last corner.
It's a shame for him.
As Ollie comes out in 7th place. And that early stop.
Definitely.
Sorry.
No, go on. I was just going to say
that early stop has brought Matt right back
6th.
into contention. He's up into 8th and he's right with the podium pack now. So a good call by Matt. His strategy.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well for him by the look of it.
Tejrar's making another pit stop. He's called it a day as well. So he's had enough of that yellow banana for tonight. And Nick is also in the pits. So he's the other Toro Rosso driver. So he's coming out onto soft tyres in 16th place. Our first retiree of the Pinnacle tier this season is Tejrar. So yeah, it's looking interesting. The gaps are still all pretty close. A lot of yellow striped tyres, and you expect them to go to the end. Be interesting to see what Sam and D90 can do from that alternate strategy. You know, sometimes you got to try something completely different from the rest of the field, and if things go your way, it can work out. But there's a long way to go in this race. 20 laps still, and although it's a short track, 20 laps is quite a while. That's 20 more times you get to use DRS.
You never know, it might rain again. Maybe it's going to rain later on, and maybe they're praying for the rain to come early. You never know.
Yeah, maybe you never know. I think D90's compromised either way, obviously with that wing damage, so we're not going to really see the true pace of the ultra soft from him. So Sam is our lone runner there with a pretty well car. So we'll see what sort of lap times he can put in. Ali Diaz now 8.2 second lead at the front as well, so he has once again benefited from that transition to the dry tyres and just continues to pump in those lap times there out front.
It's a good race for Williams because Matty Daddy from the back of the grid up to 4th place. What a great race he's having.
Yeah, it's an incredible race.
With cloudy balloons.
He's
about to take that 4th place off him. Possibly.
They always say it's race day that's all important. Qualifying is only just part of the job, and Matty Daddy is proving that with a charge towards the front at the moment. And as he just gets overtaken, they've got it by cloudy balloons.
Yeah.
He does make that move into turn 1.
Yeah, I think Matty Daddy got a bit of wheel spin out the last corner. And as you can see with DRS, now turn 1 is an overtaken opportunity if you get close enough.
I think this could be pretty exciting stuff because we've got one there down in 6th, but we know he had to change his wing during those pit stops, but we know in the dry, before the rain came down, he was super quick at the front there, so finding himself in 6th at the moment, but he will be on a charge, and he's tucked in there behind the Williams of Matty Daddy, so yeah, definitely one to watch, and still a podium, a possibility for him.
Yeah, especially with D90 having to pit again, so yeah, every chance.
Absolutely, he's got to be patient now. He's damaged his wing once, so he doesn't want to do it again, that's for sure. And yeah, he looks to have such great turning on that car.
Daddy's commentator's curse. Matty Daddy's spun it, and he's lost his wing, so that's his race ruined.
Oh no!
He was having such a good race as well.
He was obviously pushing really hard. It worked out for him up till then. One saving grace for him is it was right near the pit lane, so he can come straight back in, get the wing changed. I don't know what he's going to do on tyres here. We'll keep an eye and see what he decides to switch to.
I don't know if he gets 18 laps in supers, but you have to try it, I think. We've got ultras. That's not going to work out for him, I don't think.
No, I'm not sure what tyres he had left to fit, but yeah, you'd have to say trying something different. He may as well from where he's ended up. But yeah, the ultras is going to be a long way to go from here, that's for sure.
Wummers past cloudy balloons is up to 4th place, so the podium is still on for him.
Well, guys, definitely. I'm going to head over to get ready for the Prestige tier commentary at 9 o'clock. I will leave you guys with this one, and it's shaping up to be we're only halfway through a fantastic final 18 laps of this race, and I will look forward to finding out who are going to be our winners and who will have lost out come lap 36. So enjoy, guys. Everyone watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you can tune in for the rest of the Pinnacle tier with Jono or Jamie, and myself and Alan will be live at 9 o'clock for the Prestige tier, our top tier.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And yeah, Nick mentions liking and subscribing on the video here, but you can also check out social media. We're on all the social medias these days, so Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, so be sure to follow us over there as well. And of course check out the website, f1tshub.com, for all the happenings, and if you like what you see, you can even sign up and get involved yourself.
Yeah. And this woman clouded in Ollie in that fight is not, there's no sign of it ending, it's being stuck together.
Yeah, definitely, and Womack hasn't really broken away quite yet, as he? Cloudy Balloons is hanging on there.
Just needs to get that DRS, I think, and then he should be fine. He's just hanging on to DRS, so it's quite. Cause the DRS, it's like it can drag drivers along that are slower, so it only one.
Absolutely. And Ollie picks up the 3-second time penalty there as well. So that could well cost him come the end of the race. And Nick also picking up the penalty
feels
there.
so tight. That could drop you from like a 3rd place down to like an 8th. I always used to
definitely.
I always used to be good at avoiding penalties. I used to always gain places on tracks like this. Yeah, track limits are quite hard around here.
Yeah, they certainly are, and as you mentioned, it can cost you position so easily at the moment. You know, it could, if he did manage to get himself up into that 4th position that he's chasing down there ahead of him, he'd instantly be dropped back behind again on penalties at the moment. Of course, we're not quite sure what people will end up come the end, but it can definitely prove really costly.
It's Matty Daddy roll over Boffy John in 14th place, but I don't see this strategy working out for him, to be honest with you, because he's going to pit yet again, so he'd be praying for a safety car, but in this game, safety cars, they're like pigs flying, to be honest with you, it's not going to happen.
Absolutely, maybe he just wants to go out there and have some fun, put the fastest tyre on and just absolutely go for it. He's on the inside of Boffy Dweller and gets that position done. Yeah, he does indeed, up to 14th. But yeah, it's a long way back from him for here, and it was all looking so good there, such good pace as well until that spin, so he will be super frustrated, I think. At the front, Ali Diaz is keeping the gap consistent with Bugster, so the top two look pretty set. D90 in 3rd place, but again he has to pit and change front wing, so he should be good for points though, and you never know, in the second part of the race he'll be charging on fresh, presumably super soft tyres. You have to say he's actually coped quite well with the wing damage. He's maintained that 3rd position, and you know, and the strategy could work out for him. At least he's got to pit again, I guess, and he can get that wing fixed at the same time, rather than being committed to the softs all the way to the end and having to carry the damage right to the finish.
Kev spun it again, so he's our tier coordinator and race opinion member isn't having such a great race today.
No, definitely not. This will be one to forget for Kev, I think. Not the start of the season that he wanted, and yeah, that wing damage for him as well, and the wing damage on this game is just so costly. You just get so much understeer.
I think Ollie's gone off as well. He's lost places to the 2 Mercedes, so he was having such a good first stint, but the second stint hasn't turned out that great.
Yeah, he's had good pace at times, hasn't he? But he's just made a few errors, sort of unforced errors that have cost him.
Gazza and Matt overtake Kev, who I believe will pit and probably go into Spoopers to the end, and maybe have a bit of a charge.
Yeah, and Sam still doing alright there in 7th, but of course he is on the ultra soft tyre, so we said we keep an eye on him. We have to move forward running that ultra soft tyre, but of course he will have to pit again, and you know, he will lose a lot of that work that he's done.
And Womack is right at the back of D90 now.
Okay, we'll have a look at that one then. And D90 probably has seen the best of those ultra soft tyres by now. And Womack, we know, with good pace in the dry, and DRS open here. Will he just use it to get behind? D90, no, he doesn't. He gets alongside. Yeah, and he picks the braking point well. D90 gives that one up. He can't fight that one. And yeah, Womack up into 3rd. But yeah, he's got a bit of a chase on now if he wants to catch the booster there in second.
I think the sensible there. He knew that battle wasn't. He knew that battle wasn't really on. He sort of you let him go, which is good sensible driving. And sometimes you have to do that if you're fighting someone who's in much fresher tyres. Sometimes it's better just let him go and lose yourself as little time as possible.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's sort of inevitable that that he was going to get by there. United did the right thing. I think it didn't lose him any time, and he can try and chase the slipstream of Womo as well there, and perhaps even pick up a bit of time. So yeah, sometimes it's not worth battling super hard for every position.
No.
And Clyde Blue's still hanging in there as well in 5th place, and we've got Matt F&G there as well, also joining the party in 6th.
D90
and yeah, he does indeed. So we mentioned he was coming to the end of the life of those ultras, and he does bring it into the pit lane.
So it was interesting how them two charge through the field.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they rejoin as well. United fitting up a super soft by the look of it.
The wing change.
And
Sam might get ahead of him here. He does. Sam jumps him in the pits. So after the first lap, he's in contention again for some good points in his fresh tyres.
Yeah, he is. It's just about how well you can carve through the field, isn't it? Overtaking doesn't look to be. It's not a formality here, even with the tyre advantage.
Yeah, and Knowles is between Slampster and D90 now. That's another option. D90 here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to switch back to watching Matt FNG and Clyde Balloons because they're still racing pretty close there. As we've got a yellow flag set to 2.
I think it's Matty Daddy again.
His race has gone from bad to worse. Wing damage on the left of that car, and yeah, it's all gone horribly wrong for him now.
As Matt he's trying to line up for turn 2, I think.
He is. He doesn't get a great exit though from turn 1 there by the look of it. I think it's going to be difficult.
Got good track shot last corner there, Cloudy Blue. So
he did indeed. I think that's the crucial thing when you're defending at this circuit, is to just compromise a bit on the entry of the corners and just make sure you get that traction. That is crucial to defending. Again, you can see that Matt's got the DRS open, but it's just not enough. It just closes him onto the gearbox of Cloudy Balloons, but it's just single file really through this section of track unless you're feeling really brave or the driver in front makes a mistake.
You might feel Matt might just send one inside if he gets frustrated, so but that could end in tears.
It could indeed. And I'll quickly mention the gap between the front two as well. 7.1 seconds, 7 seconds now. They are trading lap times every single lap. That gap has been pretty static now for several laps. So the Bookster has got good pace. Now he's found his way into clear air there.
And the gap to Women's stayed similar as well. So these front three, I think they're very evenly matched for pace, but the rain sort of ruined the battle for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it definitely opened it up a bit, didn't it?
Again, he's struggling, but he's closer this lap, so maybe
he's closer. But I don't think he's going to be brave if he sends it down the inside here. He sort of looks, but doesn't go for it.
No, he's half move there, which is cost you time.
Yeah.
Look at the traction there. He has no traction. He's on a tighter line.
Yeah, way too shallow an angle into the corner there, sort of having a bit of a look, but it cost him a lot of time. You've got to be decisive, either go for the move or not go for the move. I know he's trying to probably show himself in the mirrors of Cloudy Balloons there, but it didn't help him. The Bookster as well, up 7 positions. We have to mention, we did mention beforehand that we thought he'd be one to watch this season. Qualifying didn't go that well for him.
Maybe he qualified a bit better, we'd be giving Ali Diaz more run for his money, so maybe that's an area for him to prove next week.
Yeah, he's matching the lap times of Ali Diaz at the front, so yeah, if he could have found himself towards the front to start with, yeah, who knows what could have happened. Matt loses the rear of the car there.
Yeah, tank flapper there, I think he's good turbulent air. Always he brakes really late, he's got great exit there, maybe this is his chance, but I think Cloudy Balloon's got good straight line speed.
He does appear to have.
So it might have to be a dive.
Here.
Yeah. Unless Pardy makes a mistake, which he doesn't quite do, and he's defending really well. I'm quite impressed by his racecraft.
Yeah, he's driving well so far, but you know, there's still 9 laps to go in this race, and I don't think either of these two drivers couldn't get any further up the field than 4, barring trouble ahead. So I think Matt should be patient. If the move, you know, maybe go for something later on, as he mentioned, if he needs to. But at the moment, just keep the pressure on. There's every chance that Claudio will make a mistake here. He's driving well. Just wait and see if that door opens.
Goes wide there. He's getting frustrated. He's making too many mistakes, I think.
That's 2 laps in a row. He's mucked up that final sector. He then closes it back in here under brake into turn 1. Looks good on the brakes, confident on the brakes, but in those high-speed corners, he's struggling. I don't know whether that's dirty air, Jamie. You've done more league racing on this game than me. Does dirty air affect you badly?
Yeah, it is quite bad. Especially in the higher speed sections like sector 2, sector 3. It's not too bad in sector 1 because it's only like 1 corner in sector 1, but sector 3 it's the worst in my idea, and that's where you want the best. That's where you want to line your moves up for sector 1, obviously. So.
Yeah, that's Matt. He's trying to slightly overdrive his final 2 corners, obviously to get as close as he can to the gearbox of Cloudy Balloons. Maybe just back it off a little bit to that sector and just keep it all pointing in a straight line. Yeah.
Not going to get a move done here unless...
We'll see how he manages it this time round as they come to those tricky final couple of corners again.
Too close, I think.
It's close. Again, he's looking for it. Yeah, he had a bit of a look again there, didn't he? And it did compromise his lines. He got a much better exit this time.
Now,
DRS is open.
Trying to send one down the inside. I think he will. Again, it's not happening.
It's not, as you mentioned, the kind of straight line speed is just enough at the moment to prevent Matt from really having a go. He's just not quite close enough into the braking zones.
He's quicker in all the sections you don't want to be when you're playing with someone.
Yeah, that is right there. I see the main there picked up a time penalty as well, but he is up 6 positions and finds himself in 7th.
Race.
Oh, as he sends it down the inside there, Matt. You mentioned he'd go for it perhaps and get impatient. He sends it down the inside, bit of contact, but no damage done, and both drivers continue. And again, he has the look. He's getting a bit more impatient now, looking for it.
But these half moves, they just cost you time because you're on the wrong line, and then they need to get better traction out the corner. So.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's got more pace at this point in the race. Ollie now 3.6 seconds behind these two. He was over 5 seconds behind, so he is closing in.
I think he needs to force Cloud into a mistake. I think that's his best way of passing.
Yeah, perhaps so.
Oh, he's got time penalty there, so again
yeah. Our Sam and D90 getting on those super softs. They're in 9th and 10th at the moment.
I think D90's quicker in this race. He's closed the gap, and Sam's got penalties. Both Mercs struggling for penalties.
Yeah, definitely a few drivers picking up penalties now as you come into the last sort of third of the race. The corner cuts are adding up. So easy to do here. Running strict rules, of course, for this race. So you've got to try and keep it between those white lines as best you can.
This track has to be strict in my view because you can gain so much time by I know there's curves and there's gravel on this track, but turn 1 and last corner you can gain so much time if you go wide. So I think it's the right decision for it to be stricter on here. Yeah,
I agree with you. It's pretty much a no-brainer for this one, as Botti Dweller sets the fastest lap of the race on with a 107.8. So good lap from him on those ultras.
Yeah, again he's pitted. I think Nick's pitted again, so we're just hoping, we're praying for a safety car, I guess, but it's going to happen this late in the race.
Yeah, I guess if you're towards the back of the field, you may as well do something. You never know. Miracles do happen. Safety cars have been known to appear on this game on super rare occasions.
Matt again.
Oh no!
Bit of contact.
He's unsettled Cloudy there, though. Yeah, the contact there. He lost traction.
And he's through surely now. He's got DRS. Unless Cloudy tries to dive and he thinks about it, but thinks better of it.
Oh, he got that position, but I don't think Cloudy would be too happy about that because he was sort of forced into the slide there by the little bit of contact.
Might be busy with that one tonight and over the weekend.
Yeah, you never know.
Be interested to see if Matt pulls away now, or Cloudy stay with him in DRS. Because if he's near him here, I think with his straight line speed, he can really pass him.
Yeah, his chance might be to come straight back. I think other than that, it looks like perhaps you know, Matt has got more pace.
He's gone off and he's out there. Oh, he's blown it. Oh, what a shame! He was having such a great race. Oh, he just again, that's a dirty air effect. You just lose your front end and.
Those final couple of corners once again. He's right in the middle of the track, so it
really
you'd expect the safety car.
Well, virtual safety car at least. That promotes also up in the points, so he's having a quiet race, but he might sneak. Oh, Stifler's out as well, and he's binned it as well. Oh, it's all happening.
Oh no, and Stifler was about to come under pressure, I think, from the super soft runners of Sam and the 90. So yeah, he's binned it, so we won't get to see that battle now, unfortunately.
That's good.
Is that on the exit of turn 1?
Yeah. I guess there might have been contact. There might have been contact with Sam, or maybe he just lost it.
Yeah, last time I looked, Sam was still, you know, 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds behind. So who knows? But perhaps he just lost it in his own board there. We'll have to wait and see.
Those two DNF promote Ols and Gazoo into the points. So fair play to Gazoo. He's kept a clean race, and he might just get a point as an award. Yeah,
absolutely. It moves those two up. And yeah, finishing the race, you know, if you get to the end, you've always got a good shot at points. And yeah, so it's proven so far for those two.
Sam's all over the main here. Surely this is an easy move. Tyres.
And
on the curb.
Good exit from turn 1 though, wasn't it? And the main keeps to the inside, I think. Oh no, he does go to the left there for the braking zone. That will open up the gap there for Sam to send it down the inside, which is exactly what he does. Move. The most grippy of tyres.
Yeah, good move that.
And yeah, job done.
And now Lemaine's got weird out, didn't he?
He has indeed. Another super soft runner behind him. I'm sure his heart will sink a bit seeing what tyres he's got fitted to that side there. And can he do the same and move himself up into 7th? Only, yeah, we're getting towards the end of the race now.
Yeah, it's only 3 laps left. It's gone by. This is a great race. And Ali Diaz, won't see much of him, but the gap's increased to 8 seconds now to Bugster, so he's done a good solid job at the front, and this will be his 3rd win in F1 TS Hub. And he only joined mid part of last season, so he's a pretty successful driver already.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a good call by you saying he was one to watch at the start of the evening.
And Bugster's
D90 then.
Oh, D90.
Yeah, he's looking down the inside of Lemaine into turn 1, and he gets the job done. Lemaine there gives him space.
I don't think Lemaine fought that much, to be honest with you. He knew the game, was he?
Yeah, definitely. I just don't think he could do much about that. He got such a good run on him. But the Haas driver still reasonable recovery to find himself currently in 8th. Yeah, poor qualifying from him as well. Expecting to be one to watch, but obviously didn't work out too well for him today.
I noticed last season the Pontier, Lemaine, I think he's stronger. I think he's stronger at race pace and qualifying, because last season he qualified down on a few races, but still got podiums and stuff. So I think he's a better racer than qualifier.
Yeah, perhaps so. Well, if you're going to be better at one than the other, you'd rather be better at the racing than the qualifying, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's D90 there. On my screen, it's just lost it.
Shame. Oh, I just caught the end of that.
He just lost the rear there, and it just shot him into the wall, and horribly wrong. We've had 3 DNFs now within just the last sort of 3 laps of the race, so drivers getting so far before they're coming unstuck.
That's going to put Kevin to the fact that Kev can't believe it. He's going to get a point with all these spins. And
yeah, we were saying he was having a bad race, and he finds himself back in the points, so he will do shortly.
Yeah. So Lemaine gets a penalty, which shouldn't really cost him a position though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that happens with the penalties at the end, but I think there's a little bit of a buffer between a few of the drivers now. Yeah. But it could well change things up a little bit.
Buck's still in 2nd place. He's going to keep up his incredible podium streak into a new season and new tier, so he's Mr. Consistent in F1 TS Hub.
He is. He's definitely found his feet here, and yeah, he's looking like a driver to watch. Absolutely certainly for the season ahead, and I think he'll definitely take this after qualifying.
Yeah, a race premium member, of course, and we thank him for the support.
Definitely.
As Ali Diaz is on his spine now, and this has been a great race for him. he didn't get pole, but he made the right decision on tyres, and it's going to be a well-deserved win if he finishes, of course.
Yeah, it's been a great performance, we have to say. He's had the pace, but he's also made the right decisions with the strategy as well, which is always tricky. And yeah, he's only got half a lap to go now, about a mile and a bit of this circuit to go. So I'm sure he'll be in cruise mode now, just bringing it home.
I unfortunately I don't know how it felt to win or get a podium in F1 TSR, but you do. How does it feel when you win a league race?
It does feel pretty special, I think. The effort you put in, you know, it's such a reward when it comes off. There's so many variables, especially with league racing on the games, but it doesn't always guarantee you success, but it works out for Ali Diaz, and he crosses the line to take the win at 25 points, and a great result for Williams in the constructors as well.
Yeah,
and the Bookster brings it home in second, and that's a great drive from him, and the McLaren of Womet there brings it home in third. Great drive by all of those drivers, and Matt crosses the line in fourth for Mercedes. Another driver we've watched plenty of today, and Ollie there, he's had great pace and made a few mistakes, but crosses the line in fifth. And Sam brings it home in sixth position on those super soft tyres, so that worked out really well for him, and he benefited from a few incidents of drivers ahead of him. Lemaine in seventh, Oles in eighth. I'm sure he'll be delighted with that. He's made his way forward these last few laps as well.
Oh, he's got seven.
Gaza in ninth. Oh, he has. There's some penalties coming to play there.
And Gaza, last guy in the lead lap, well done to him. 2 points. I think he'll be delighted with a points finish.
Yeah, and Gaza crossed the line there, and Kev, I think it was, in 10th, getting the final point.
So yet another win for Williams and F1 TSR, by far the most successful team in this league. So they've got another good driver, I believe, now this season.
Yeah, definitely. Williams just seem to have something in this league, don't they? They always seem to find a driver or a driver pairing to propel them towards the front.
Of course, you're a former Williams champion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a team close to my heart in this league as well. So yeah, I'm pleased to see them up on the podium once again. And that was a really exciting race, Jamie. I enjoyed that. Yeah,
it was good. The first, that podium battle was enthralling. I couldn't keep my eyes off it. So sorry for the rest of the drivers, but that fight was just, you couldn't keep your eyes off it.
No, absolutely. We had to follow that one in the end there, didn't we?
Yeah, so.
And yeah, shall I take us through the results?
Yeah, run down of the order.
So Ali Diaz takes the win. The Bookster in second, Womet in third, Matt FNG in fourth, Ollie in fifth, Sam in sixth, Oles in seventh, Lemaine in eighth, Gaza in ninth, Kev rounds out the top 10, Bossy Dweller 11th, Nick 12th, Leonardi 13th in the end, disappointing for him. And we've got Sebastian Vettel there in 14th and Clyde Bloom's 15th. And yeah, disappointing for Clyde Bloom's as well. Great drive, all went wrong there in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, and there's nothing worse than starting the season with DNF. I remember Canada in season 9 where I could have won the race and I made too many stupid mistakes, and but there's always next week at Silverstone, and they can fight back then.
There's plenty of chance, only one round gone, and a good result for Mercedes in the constructors there as well, in 4th and 6th, so decent points for them. Start the season off there as well, and the Haas drivers in 7th and 8th.
One of your other former teams, Mercedes.
Yeah, that's it, Mercedes up there as well, and McLaren, good to see McLaren up there as well. So yeah, brilliant race, Jamie.
Yeah, thank you very much for everyone for watching, and Jono, would you not mind closing out the stream for us, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to head over to the Prestige tier race, which is live right now on this YouTube channel. Again, please like and subscribe, and check us out on social media and on our website. And from Jamie and I, thank you very much. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you very much.